Olrovasara gains maximum added lightning damage when it hits an enemy. Player-created walls like Shield Wall and Frost Wall count as enemies with power. In my current setup, I found a way to get to Olrovasara's maximum potential of added lightning damage very quickly with just one cast of Frost Wall and a few uses of Molten Blast. Let's go back to the lab and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I'm on console. This testing process is terrible, but I'll show you my advanced info of Molten Blast. You can see right there in my main hand lightning damage, it's at 2,777 at base. So if I cast Frost Wall and then just throw a few Molten Blasts on it, which will be faster once I get more Tailwind, you can see the DPS dual tip already went up, and I'm at 10,271 main hand lightning damage. So the cap is a little bit higher than that, I think. Let's see. About 10,600 is like the highest that I've seen, I believe. So I'll show you how I'm doing this. So I'm dual wielding Olrovasara. With Molten Blast, if you dual wield, you get twice as many projectiles with less attack speed. With Frost Wall, I found that the more HP the walls have, the more power it'll add when I hit it with an attack from Olrovasara. So I have Glacier on it, and I also have a Necklace Anoint for Ice Walls. So this is increasing the Ice Crystal life. I also have Spell Cascade that gives me 2 more Frost Walls whenever I cast it. Fortress, in my testing, this makes it the most convenient. Concentrated effect, I don't know if the less area effect is really helping much. I'll need to test it more, but this 4th slot isn't too impactful, I don't think. So Molten Blast, I've ordered the support gems in order of what I think is the most important. When I've tested Shield Wall and Frost Wall, I found that Fork gives me the most power buildup with Olrovasara. And then I have attack speed, DPS increase, and faster buildup of lightning damage. Primal Armament for more elemental damage, and Long Shot. This slot I've switched around a bit. I'm not sure what I want here. Magnified Effect for more AoE is kind of nice. There are other damage boosters, but this is what I'm using right now. Then I've got Herald of Thunder, which is helping my clear speed a whole lot. I'll show you the supports real quick. Wind Dancer for more survivability. And then on bosses, I'm switching out Herald for Cast on Shock to give myself more Frost Walls. For the Amulet, I have +3 to level of all projectile skills that's scaling Molten Blast. And then on the chest, I try to get something that has really high evasion. And then Thrill Steel is just a sick fucking helmet. So on the passive tree, some things that I think are really important. Split Shot and Forking projectiles are going to give you a guaranteed chance for an extra projectile when you're forking, which is something that you're doing constantly. Up here, I've got Wild Storm. We have tons of maximum lightning damage on this build, so I'd imagine that node is a big help. Similar to down here, Lightning Rod, huge range of possible lightning damage, so I think this is probably really strong too. I've had to get a ton of attributes for what I'm using, and then I'm prioritizing things like skill and attack speed, shock magnitude, lightning penetration, and evasion. And then for jewels, let's see if this is one of them. Yeah, so I've got a few jewels where skill mana cost is converted to life cost because I was having quite a bit of mana issues. And I've only gotten a few of these so far, but it's helped me out a lot. My jewels still have a lot of work to be done on them though. This build is still in somewhat of an early stage, so if I keep going with it, I'll post an update later. Mapping feels good right now, but I'd like to get more DPS on bosses and get better survivability in the future. There are some other passive tree setups that I want to experiment with, and also some uniques like Hands of Wisdom in Action that I want to try out in this setup. But if you got any ideas, please let me know.